guess everyone is sleeping.
Yo, what's up, New Moon?
Hi, Gio. How are you doing, bro?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, doing great. Like, I was just, did you watch the latest video from Robert Polisher or Taboo Conspiracy?
No, I haven't seen it. I think it popped up on my feed, but no, I didn't see it yet.
Yeah, that rocket. Okay. So that's like a video where NASA put the same footage in 1990 and in 1996.
Oh, okay. He
Yeah,
caught that.
yeah, like clearly, like NASA used the same footage to show to the people in 1990 and 1996, and both were the different missions, and they got it good. like uh, like these things really fascinates my mind. Do you know why? Because NASA clearly lies, okay, and it's a big space agency. They have all kinds of money. So if there are some controllers who know that they are lying, just imagine there are 5 or 6 people who just create the lies, okay, and other people don't know about that. So still, those people should be aware that there are flat earthers and there are other people who are catching our lies, but they don't bother. Means they don't care. Like they don't even care. Like there are some people like on YouTube and other platforms who are just catching our lies. They don't do anything. It's so weird, right? Like they can do whatever they want to. Like they can change their stuff. They can put some globers who are defending, attacking those people. They can buy them by money, super chats, convert them to the globe. They can destroy their channels by talking to YouTube and other platform. But they don't do that.
Yeah. Well, they just kind of need the masses convinced. So they know there's going to be people that realize it's a deception. But yeah, they just kind of try to get the masses, it seems.
Yeah, it seems, but still, if they know, okay, like someone means they should be aware, like there are some people who will catch your life. Just imagine someone is doing $1 billion scam and live. So they are aware. They will always be aware that, oh, even if someone is talking about me on YouTube or somewhere in a public platform, then I should be aware about that, right? So they never bother. They never think like, okay, this footage someone catch, they will never delete that from their websites or somewhere. They will not no they will not care. They will not send someone to debate taboo conspiracy or David Wise. They will not do that. They will not like super chat McTune and people like Simon Dan and other people who are just trying to debunk. They will not super chat even them, because if they have unlimited amount of money, then they can create so many trolls on internet just by sending super chats to them. But they don't even do that. So what's stopping them to even super chatting the globe trolls? They don't even do that. So I think they don't even look into these things, and I think this is a big like like someone satanic possessed, or like they are doing this from they are a particular group of people who just do their stuff, don't even care about other people.
Well, if they in any way exposed that they cared, then it would be a bad look for them. You know, it would be a lot easier for other people to kind of see that. So yeah, it seems to me like you're doing a criminal enterprise like this. You know, you just seems like they publish it for the mainstream, you know, media, etc., and then they just like play it like it's real, and then they don't try to defend it too much, and then they just try to make it seem like if you're questioning it, you're crazy. So they kind of use like the social programming to keep people in line, to get people to, attack each other if they're questioning it. And then meanwhile, they just run it as if it's all legit. And then, it doesn't seem like they want to expose that they care or that they're trying to shut it down. But we've seen ways that they have, like in the censorship. And so we're aware of it, but that's only because a lot of us are very aware of all these factors, but most people wouldn't be.
Yeah, that's true. And Globers still, some Globers are still there who will say no, NASA is completely legit. All space agencies are legit. People like Rats rhetoric, right? These people, they will never go against space agencies.
I don't know if I want to get into a long thing on Jeran, but does he just buy NASA now after all his years of? Does he? I mean, I don't want to get in a long thing on him, but I mean, does he doesn't think NASA lies anymore, or what's the deal? He just flipped on NASA too. Now they're just great people telling him the truth, or what?
No. Jeran is still, he still no, and he will still talk about NASA, that NASA lies. And I talked to him about that also in the speaker's corner. So when I visited his speaker corner, I asked him the same thing. Like, so he told me directly. So if the space agencies, okay, even if the space agencies are lying, we know, like, if they are lying, those space agencies, that doesn't make the Earth flat. Means if they can lie, all space agencies can lie, and still the Earth is a globe. So he was saying that. He was not saying, "Oh, I believe the space agencies now" or something.
Yeah, but does he
And
believe
he's a,
but does he believe the pictures of Earth, the hacked up, jacked up, cut and pasted disasters that they call the globe? I mean, does he buy
no,
those now?
no. That's the great thing. Like,
He doesn't
still,
even buy
if
those.
no, not a single one. Like, still, if you ask him, Jaron, give me a single picture of the Earth from the space, he will say, I don't have. All are fake.
Oh my gosh, dude, he is just a walking contradiction. What a train wreck. No offense to him, but wow, that's bad.
Yeah, he is still in the position, and I think maybe he's planning, like, to go slowly and slowly, like, because he is having a debate. So that debate will tell everything. Okay. So I'm waiting for the debate. So
Which
he's
debate? With
arranging a
who?
debate. Yeah, he's going to debate McKeegan in a few
Oh,
months. Okay.
huh,
So whenever he
really?
will do debate for McKeegan, I think that debate will decide that he
What are
is
they
believing the
debating
moon.
on?
He will
Sorry,
debate on his
sorry,
channel. Bro.
sorry. What were you saying? I didn't mean to interrupt you. You said that they're going to debate what?
They are gonna debate moon landing.
Oh, okay,
So Jaron will say the moon landings are all fake. McKeegan will, of course, say it's all right.
okay.
So if Jaron go and buy, and if Jaron got convinced, oh, okay, I was wrong about the moon landings, moon landing was true, then of course he will buy the Earth images, all the Earth images from NASA. Then he will say, yeah, the Earth images NASA posted from that moon landing, then they are true. There might be some fake images like Himawari and others. Sometimes they make fake images, but there are real images launched by NASA during Apollo missions, right? So he will say that after the debate. But I don't know. I
You think
can't
he'll? You think
speculate.
he'll? You think he'll flip on the moon landing, dude? But
I don't think so.
are there any other globe Earthers that think the pictures of the globe are fake, but they believe the globe? Like I haven't heard of that ever.
There are many, but they don't say openly. Like, for example, I'll give you a famous name, Critical Think. He go to Antarctica. He don't believe in moon landing.
Yeah, but I
But
know, but I'm saying thinking the pictures of the globe are fake and believing it's a globe. That's what I'm saying. I know some of them don't think the moon landing's real,
yeah, yeah.
but you know what I'm saying? Like anyone that said, no, I believe the globe, but those pictures, I guess maybe some of them would say, well, maybe some of them are fake or some of them are composites, but they don't really use the word fake. I've never heard someone who really buys the globe and then would say that any of those photos are, or any of the claimed images of Earth are faked. Like they all either they would say, well, they're composites, but they still would say they're real. So if Jaron has that position, that's even more kind of
Jaren is at the weird position. I think, yeah, I can't point any other globe other than Jaren. who is in the position that all images of the Earth are fake, all the globe images are fake, or
Yeah,
probably fake. Yeah,
but he buys it just because the sun in the south, and he doesn't have all the information. Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so Jeran's whole position is like sun do exactly what globe says. Okay, so all the angles from south to north, every position, sunrise, sunset, and sun is setting according to the curvature of the earth, okay, according to the globe. So it doesn't work on the flat earth. And he's saying, yeah, of course it doesn't work on the flat earth. How can it work? Like if the earth is flat, sun is rotating over it, it can't set really in that way that where we see it, where we observe it in daily life. Like sun is at the full size without changing size. It's going in a curved path and going down, setting below the horizon. It doesn't work other than the earth is a globe. But the thing I told him, and like we talked about that. Like I was talking with many flat earthers in 2020, I guess, and including Jeran when I was in his VIP and in a private conversation. I asked him, okay, Jeran, it might be a deception, okay? Then he said, yeah, sure. And he started talking about the deception in 2022 and 23. That, yeah, the globe could be a big deception and it could be just a big deception, but the earth is flat. So, but means deception means your understanding, right? Means the creator of this world, or maybe how the nature of the earth is, means how the earth is built up in a way so that when we try to know the shape of the earth, we will be deceived that it's a globe because of the coordinate system, because all the sky observation will act like the earth is a globe. But in fact, in real, the earth is flat. So if you go for any sky observation, you'll look to the sky, do anything, it will show you that the earth is a globe. So you can't, based on evidence, you can't say the earth is flat. All evidence will lead you towards the globe because it's a deception. So that was conclusion of me and even Jeran, I guess. I don't know from before he know that, but after talking to me, and he agreed that. And in his latest stream also, Jeran was saying like Karen B told 10 years back that all sky observations matches the globe, and Karen B stopped doing sky observations because all observations match the globe. So still, these people know these things. Like it's a kind, other than saying the earth is a deception, earth deceives you to believe the earth is a globe, other than you can't be a flat earther basically, because there is no mechanism on the flat earth you can show how the sun is working. Yeah, there are other things like you can say like earth the sun is not physical. Okay, when you say the sun is not physical, then the earth is physical. Then all the laws we have invented or discovered on the earth, the physical laws of nature, physics laws, we can't apply to the sun because we can't go and verify that those laws apply to the sun or not, because we don't know the sun is physical or from this physical world or not. It can be other world. Just imagine, for example, the gravity works on earth, okay? So we can't apply, if the gravity works on earth, then the gravity will also work in Mars, because we have never been to the Mars and tested the gravity there. So we can't just assume, okay, if it's working there, then it should also work there because that's also a physical world. So this is a fallacy. So if we apply that, then we can't apply any law of physics to the sky. So when we can't apply that, then sky will do whatever it want to do. Okay, we can't use physics, and no glober can use that. So there are 2 or 3 ways other than flat Earth. Don't explain these things, bro.
Yeah, but does he consider that he was just sold a false, not fully correct map of a flat Earth? Of a like, has he considered that he may just have been sold a false flat Earth instead of looping all of the entire idea of the Earth being a stationary plane into that one idea that he was sold as the kind of globe replacement? That's just sort of a rhetorical question, in terms just in terms of Jeran, but yeah, I was following what you were saying, otherwise, but yeah, I don't.
like basically all flat earthers, most of us, like including me, including you, or also or Jaren also, we become earther by watching that map, okay? Because when we start researching the flat earth, we get that map, okay? And we compare globe earth with that, and sometimes we think, yeah, it's not the perfect thing, it's not as good as globe, but still we can use that, okay, and we can go with that map. So this is what happens when we start doing research, then after 1 year or 2 year, we realize, okay, nothing works on the globe. If we talk about the observations of the stars and the sun, it doesn't work on the it doesn't work on the E map. It only works on the globe. We realize that, but still we don't talk about that. We just stop talking about that. So this is a thing happens with everyone. This also happened with Jaron. But Jaron tried to move to the globe. He tried to, and he flipped to globe based on that. But basically, he also knows that he never believed the A map to be the truth, because he might be believing that in 2015, 16, 17, but not 2024, of course. A map doesn't work at all. Like the distances, everything doesn't work in the south. Nothing. Sun, angles, timings. So you know about the dual pole map that I also gave you that day.
Yeah.
So do you
Well,
know
you mean
like
like the equal area azimuthal projections from the equator? It's also an AE map. It's just an azimuthal equal area
mhm.
from
Yeah,
pulled from the it's from the equator is yeah, but and it creates
yeah,
those two kind of equal. Yeah, is that what you're like? What do you think of
yeah,
that?
yeah. So like this is a model, okay? So we can explain like, okay, the earth could behave in that way where there are two poles, and sky rotates in different ways on that pole, the stars and sun just circles 6 months to the north, 6 months to the south. But we don't have a map. So that's a concept of the model we get from Lady Blunt Zetetic Society. And so to show that we can use the A map, means globe projection in the to the equator, and we can create that, okay, this should work like that. Okay, but that's not the true map, of course. So the problems all leads us to the, like, we don't have a map or the model. And Jaron says that we can't create a map of the flat earth, but that's wrong, because in his previous years he always said that like, I don't have money. Globe, the people who give you the globe model, they were the kings and queens, they were the government, they were having all kinds of permission. I don't have that. If you give me unlimited amount of money and manpower and all permissions to explore the earth freely, then I can come up with a flat earth map. He was saying that. Now he says there can't be a flat earth map. I don't know, like, he really believes that or not. But if you really look into his speech at TFE live, when everyone was talking, then he said absolute truth that I never believed there is sun, but now I watched, after watching the sun, I can say the A map is wrong, and it doesn't make the Earth globe. Earth could be still flat, but the A map is wrong, and I agree with that. But now he's saying that there could not be any other map. But in previous times, he always said that we don't have money and power and free exploration We can't create the map they have created because they have power and money.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, do you think Jeran is genuine in this thing, or do you think like
Yeah,
do you think it's genuine or disingenuous? Like in terms of is he genuinely going through that, or do you think there's something else going on?
yeah, he's genuinely saying that. And the reason is, I think Jaren was getting so much attack by the flat earthers, and also some family problems. Like his, of course, like his wife is supportive, but other people in his connection, like his sister and other people, of course, like just imagine his whole relatives are watching him going to Antarctica, and he is working from last 10 years on the flat earth, and still he go to Antarctica, he go to behind the curve, and all people are trolling, oh, this flat earther go there and lost, oh, this flat earther in the Netflix documentary lost. So all relatives of him, friends of her, friends and other people he knows, like his wife, no relatives or her his wife, so these all people, just imagine his pressure on him after Antarctica trip. So he thought, okay, let's flip, because he also thinks like, we can't create a flat earth map, because and he also thinks like, in my life no one will create a flat earth map, because government can't allow someone to map the world in another way. Like, they have given you the coordinate system, you have to use that. Other than that, you can just go fly a aeroplane and just map the world with the new coordinate system. How someone can do that? There's no way.
Yeah. Well, it
Understandable.
is sort of like a series of tests. Like in this modern era, being aware of truth versus deception is such a huge thing. Most people, I think, are under multiple deceptions and all kinds of ways. It's kind of the crisis of the modern era that was sort of built on so much corruption and you just look at the world wars and the world banks and all this stuff. So and just World War One, World War Two. So we're dealing with this situation that there's a lot of deception, and so
Every
being in this at all just means that there's going to be a series of tests. Now, the thing for me about the 24-hour sun was really, I mean, it was, I mean, I could share my own thoughts. I mean, it was good to get more, data and so on, but it didn't shake me at all in the truth process, but it certainly did for others in different ways. So it's sort of like a test point. And I mean, just from the perspective, like you were saying, you do think Jeran is genuine. So yeah, I mean, it seems like he would have some motivation at the least, because just to switch like he did, just to all of a sudden dramatically do it. It seems like, I mean, if nothing else, he wants to get more subscribers. I can't, because it's just so dramatic. It just doesn't seem authentic. It's not like he's just thinking on his own and having some inner thought. He's, it's a whole kind of shtick now that he now is going to be, so, and he's trying to ramp it up and stuff. But anyway, so I'm just saying, from the perspective of it being a test, all of this, then you could say, I guess this was some test, because the deception of the Earth is a huge thing, and then the AE map with the sun doing that one path was sold to people in a certain way, and so whether people jumped on that or whether people were more neutral until they had more information. So I'm just saying it is somewhat of a test point, and so I mean, yeah, maybe Jeran is a content producer, so he's got that going on, but it also could just be a factor of he kind of dropped off at this. He kind of failed this test basically. Like he couldn't hold through, and then maybe he has other things in mind of wanting to have a popular channel, and he thought maybe he thought the whole flat Earth thing was going to die, and he thought maybe the only way he could keep his profession is to flip the globe. Who knows? But
Yeah, yeah. Basically, if he flipped the globe, then there are some profits for him. Like, he can, like, Globers pay more money basically. Okay, so maybe
oh
like
yeah,
Jaren, yeah, Jaren might be earning 4,000 a month. Okay,
yeah, and
now he will
he might have used to make 2,000 and now he makes four, and then on top of that, the documentary's coming out. So yeah, if he doubled his income and then now he's got a documentary and other showings because of this, and then he's going to be the guy who flipped now, so he knows he'll get way more mainstream attention. So yeah.
Yeah, and he was also having a pressure, right? So we also have to think about him. Like after going to two documentaries, like Behind the Curve, he got attacked. Now after TFE, he got attacked. That, oh, you got wrong two times in front of the whole world. So now what? So he was thinking like, even if I continue to be a flat earthers will like not pay me as much, or they will attack me, because most of the flat earthers will attack him continuously whole day. So he thought, okay, I can't just be with these people who are like half of my supporters and half will always fight me. So instead of switching to the globe, everyone will be my friend. So he switched to globe, and he convinced himself that the earth is a globe by saying, oh, sun can't work on the flat earth, sun only can work on the globe earth, sun is most important thing. And he forget that, oh, I was calling it a deception back then. Now he's calling, yes, sun is, it's all real, no problem. Yeah, so
Right.
in this way, yeah, and he will earn, I think, good amount of money, because globers pay a lot, okay, to the people like Jeran, right? Or people like Mctoon. And Jeran have a friendship, good friendship with Mctoon, Duffy, all the Globers. So like Jeran have a good friendship with all the Globers even from years. It's everyone know that. And he was a flat earther genuinely. But he was having a good friendship with Globers. Globers don't attack Jeran.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
I hear you. I think he's had some tension over the years in some ways with some of them, but yeah, no, I do hear you. You know, maybe his audience was more kind of
both, yeah.
following. No, I'm just saying maybe they were like following him more because he was pretty adamant about the no 24-hour sun. So maybe like a lot of his people that were clung to him or who really listened to him, because I think a lot of people don't really listen to Jeran regularly. I mean, what does he get? Three? He used to only get about 300 viewers for a while there these days. So I mean, I guess that's kind of his whole crew. Like, you know, maybe it's 1,000 people and then it ends up being 300 at each show. You know, so it's sort of like a thousand, which is not really that many people when you think about it. So I mean, the ones that are like his like truly his followers, the ones that really were treating him like, you know, in that way. So I'm just saying if he was pushing the no 24-hour sun pretty strong, it could be maybe that like some of his followers were more kind of impacted by it. And then like you said, you know, if he was getting attacked a lot, I just thought that was interesting how you said um that he kind of that there is a situation where it's like, okay, he either stays with Flat Earth publicly while half of his audience is maybe attacking him, and then he doesn't feel like he has a map anymore that he can proselytize. And so, what does he have? Therefore, just swallow. You know, maybe he figured just kind of swallow the embarrassment, and then just like you said, if he figured if he flips or whatever, he can just go with the mainstream thing. He's going to get more money, like you said, from followers. He's going to get more kind of adoration and attention, and then throw everyone else under the bus. But yeah, it does kind of seem like what he's doing.
Like basically, as much as I know him, he's not an attention seeker, okay? So he don't care about like people giving it attention. He don't care about that. He was just thinking like, if I switch to globe, then first he will have like the people in his personal life, of course, uh who was, of course, who think like, oh, he go to Antarctica and all people are watching his videos, and they will ask him, hey Jaron, are you still a flat earther? Then what he will say after going into two documentaries to the people he knows in personal life? He don't care about internet people. I know about that. Like in on the internet, people say him anything because it was his decision in 2015 or 16 that I don't care about what people say. It's all my what I think. I'll talk about that. So what people say in the internet, there will be always two kinds of people. But people in his personal life, they all saw him working as a flat earther and still getting wrong two times. So I think that that thing was having he was having that pressure, and pressure from the globers, because globers are also his friends. Many globers are his friends. They come to his channel, support him, debate on his channel. So he was having pressure from everyone. So he switched it. Like Witsit don't have that pressure, okay? Witsit didn't switch. It's all the pressure game, bro. Like we are just sitting here and just imagine Jeran and Witsit. They like millions of people knows them, okay? So they think like that because Jeran was in a documentary watched by millions and millions of people. The Antarctica thing, all Globers know about that. It's mainstream. There is news articles. So it's not easy for him to continue after getting wrong 2 times or more times. And the most best thing is coming like after his debate with McKeegan, then everything will be clear. Like he's genuinely like completely want to switch to globe, or he's still a flat earther. Because if he don't go and lose the debate willingly, like going there to just to lose, then he's trying to switch completely to the globe and trying to become like Mctune. And if he just go and just don't agree. Okay, he just say, "Oh, I think the moon landing is fake." Then, according to me, he's still a flat earther, because I don't think so. Like he will become a flat earther because of the sun. How much he say, he can't become a flat earther because of the sun, because all those previous year he said that it's a deception and we can't map the world. These things he can't forget those things, bro. If someone get his old clips, and I can give you another clip. Like one day, Jeran was talking with Mictune, and Mictune asked him, "Hey, Jeran, what can flip you to the globe?" And you know what Jeran said? Jeran said, there is nothing other than I'm going to the space, and like I go to the space, outer space, where I can see the whole Earth as a globe floating in the space, and there is nothing in between me and the Earth. Like there's no curved lenses or something. Like someone put something on my face to deceive me, so I can see the whole Earth. Then I will believe the Earth is flat or Earth is a globe. Other than that, he didn't say that like sun can prove me the Earth is a globe or something. I can give you that clip also. I have that. Like I've watched many flat earthers like Jeran with Oakley, all so many flat earthers, so much content from Globers. Like I have watched hundreds of hours of Globers, and even before that, I'm having good knowledge of astrophysics, cosmology from years. Uh, so it was like when I become a flat earther, it was my whole thing was okay. It is just a deception. So you can't know the shape of the earth other than observing it. Means you need to go outside the earth and observe it. So that was the whole thing. And if you watch Peter and Pete, those two flat earthers, they also say that you can't test the earth. So scientifically, if you are doing anything, it's not proving. Science don't prove in that way that the earth is a globe or something. Uh, it's just how you are using that evidence to satisfy your theory, but affirming the consequences and confirming your bias. So just if you want to prove the shape of the earth, just observe it by going outside it as a third person. Then you can prove. Other than that, we don't have anything solid. And the thing is, you ask any glober, that show me Earth footage, like where any rocket goes from Earth to all the way to space, and there was a camera attached, because always when they launch a rocket, there is a camera attached to it. Then ask them, like, can do you have any footage of the Earth from the high altitude, uncut footage or a continuous footage where we can see the whole globe Earth from the space, and the rocket was launched from the Earth? Because it's not easy to fake that kind of thing. So space agencies don't have that. No one have that. What they do is they just launch a rocket, show you 1 or 2 minutes film, and when they go into the orbit, they just disconnect it. And when they are saying, okay, now our rocket is going to the space, going to Mars, going to Earth, and now it's 1 million kilometer away from the Earth, or now it's 100,000 kilometer away from the Earth. Oh, that's just we just got a video of the Earth. Okay, we just got a picture of the Earth from the spacecraft. Oh, this is here, and they just show that. They never show like a uncut video from the Earth to all the way to space and showing the Earth. Because when we go to high altitude like 100 kilometers or 200 miles, then Earth behaves in a way that it shows the curvature, because we see the Earth in a way. We see our You go to the flat Earth, just go above it, and you will see it will look like, oh, it's a globe, because we don't see far away. It will look like, okay, it's a curvature of the Earth, but it's not. It's just your limit of the vision from that place. You are watching that in that angle, and you can't see further. So it will look like, okay, you can't see. So you are watching in a circle. So it will look like Earth is a globe, even if you are watching by your eyes. So
Are
that's why
you,
you have to at least 2,000 miles or 5,000 or 10,000 miles away from the Earth to observe it.
are you saying space travel isn't real?
No, it's not. We can never verify like they are really going to the space. They may be just going 200, 300 miles and then faking all the things. Like for example, we have caught NASA and other space agencies faking all the things all the way. Okay. So if they can't reach the space and they are having some space programs and funding, what will they do? Of course, they can just do create a computer simulation and show it to people.
How
Okay.
do you see Elon Musk in charge of, I don't know, government spending when he's doing exactly the same, supplying fake videos about fake space travel? Is that not pure irony? The guy
Yeah.
comes.
Is he doing by his own? No, of course not. He is
Oh,
having alliance with NASA, so he might have some friends in NASA. Just imagine there is a NASA guy who is his friend, and they make, okay, you have a space agency, we will support you. So Elon Musk, oh, that's great. And do you know Elon Musk himself said that whenever I do any mission, there are 140 or something employees of NASA have all the controls of my computers. Whenever they are having any SpaceX mission, there are NASA employees there in
do you think
his office.
do you think he was approached, or do you think he had a friend? I think the chances, the very chances are he was approached, and he just said, "You know what? Fuck it, I accept."
I think he is having some political connections, and because these things are, you can't reach very big without having political connections.
Yeah, but you,
Politicians just lies
if
and
you,
fakes and creates these things, fake
yeah, but
things.
if you was directly approached, it's a very razor edge line, isn't it? You know, because like he could have just turned around and said, like, "Oh look, NASA approached me to fake space. Boom, it's over." Whereas people, at best, who would know him and said, like, look, he's ready. They would have probed him in a I don't know, in a sublineal
Like if
way.
you look into your world, like for example, uh, the people who earns a lot of money, there are some businesses like mines, the businesses of mining diamonds, mining coal, mining marbles and oil. Okay, government give people, okay, like, okay, your company, you can mine the gold. Okay, so it's not like that. Like government will give everyone that right to mine the earth and sell out the earth reserves. No, they will give that to only the people. They are their friends and they are their alliance and supporters, so that they can control these things. So in the same way, NASA, space agencies, they also have their friends, their knowns. They think like, oh, this guy is a good, he's owning Tesla. Okay, he's my friend. Okay, you are having a space agency. Okay, we will support you. So they, in every field, it works like that, whether it's hospitals. And so Elon Musk don't even know like the earth is a globe or flat. He don't care about that. He's just a businessman, and he's earning a lot of money with the SpaceX. Like they call, NASA guys call them, hey, you'll earn billions of dollars every year by this space things. Like your rockets are going there, then people will put money into your stocks, because they will think, oh, you are going to colonize the Mars in future. So they will put money in in your stocks, in your companies, and you will become billionaire, the richest man in the world, because people love that. So they supported them, they get their share. It's all money game. Elon Musk also knows that, oh, I can't do that. I'm just lying about that. But he don't know that the Earth is a flat or something. He don't know that the NASA lies about everything. It's just
Yeah,
their
but
business. They are businessmen or nothing.
it must have happened when he said that he put that car in space. That was the point that they had. That he had whatever deal they did. That was the celebration of putting the Tesla in space. That was, right. We have him, because just how that came about. That wouldn't come about unless there was a deal made. He actually sets out the parameters by saying, "Oh, it's real because it looks so fake," or you know, maybe not in that order, but those words. It looks so fake, it's real. That was the point where he had accepted a deal with NASA. That's for sure.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, it's pretty possible. Everything is possible. Like I never say, I never think in that way. Like all people, like no one knows that it's a lie. There might be some people who knows it's a lie in the NASA also. Some astronauts, of course, they can't fool every astronaut, but there are different possibilities for that. Maybe they are paying, maybe they are getting well paid, or there might be other things like they might be the best thing I can imagine is uh, the people who are just faking the space through ISS and those all astronauts who go there. So are they willingly lying for money, or there is something else? So I don't think so. They are just lying for the money. They might be slaves of NASA. Okay,
Do you know what?
like
Do you know what I started to feel? I started to think maybe they have to believe the lie, because you can't get so many people just time and time again So I reckon they're selected and possibly down to hypnosis or something like that, where they actually believe that they went to space.
No, like I don't think so. Like I think one day we was having a conversation on this topic in a group, and I showed my thought that it could be like those are just like if you know about the history of the government, how government operates, and the kings and queens, so they always have some slavery system. So they always have some slaves. All the big organizations have slaves. So what are those slaves? So there are some particular group of people that they have from the childhood, and they live with them. So just imagine if NASA or the government have some slavery system, the people who controls all lies about the world, if they have a slavery system, so they might have thousands of slaves. So they are just a part of that slavery system, and those slaves can't go against them because there are reasons behind that. Like I'm not saying like those slaves are very poor, they don't have something to eat. No, they are rich slaves. They will live better life than you. They will freely go anywhere for vacations. They will meet anyone. They can even meet you, but they will never tell you, oh, we are lying. Because do you know why? Because they are slaves. So why they are
Yeah,
not
but
lying? Because if they lie, then they have their family. Okay? So they know the consequences. Like if I tell the truth that, oh, I don't go to space, we just fake it. Okay. So they can tell that even if they are in the hospital and they know, okay, now I'm 85 years old and I'm going to die within a month. Okay, okay, let's write a book. Okay, let's write down a book and show every person and give it to my friend and create a video. Hey, release this book after my death. And okay, and in that book it's written that, oh, we was just faking the space for years. They can't do that because those slaves have families here on the earth. They have childrens. So they know, like, if I lie even on my deathbed, then they will not leave us. They will give us torture to death. They will give my childrens, my wife, all the people I love. Just imagine you are lying. You have childrens. You can't say, you can't go against your boss because you know if I go against my boss, even after my death, my childrens that I love the most, they will be at the hell by they will be at the torturement center, and they will live there, and they might have seen the tortures from the childhood. Like when the slaves are there, there might be some slaves who are having the torture in their torture rooms, and those all kids see that, oh, they torture people in that way if they are going against them. And they all know, like, okay, I'm an astronaut. Okay, and I'm lying, but even I can't say the truth even when I'm going to dead. At my deathbed, I can't say that because I have my childrens. So they will take my childrens to that torture center. Okay, so this is the only way they can do this. Other than money can't buy a person for a long time. Just imagine someone is just those astronauts are just lying for money. Then what about when they are going to dead? They can write their book. They can create a video and ask his friend who is making that video that when I'm dead, just release that video on YouTube. So why would he not do that? And why NASA will allow the normal people? They can't take that risk. So they need slavery system. Other than that, they can do that. So you need to connect the points, bro.
yeah, but I thought,
And that's why those slaves, we call them, hey, why he's showing the 33 symbol? Why he's showing like he's satanic? He's showing triple six. Why he's a Freemason? why he's to a particular group, why he's hiding those facts. Maybe Elon Musk is a slave, but he's living a rich lifestyle. Okay, just imagine Elon Musk from the birth he's a slave. We can't know that. He can come to your house. He will never tell you that he's a slave of the system because he have children. He have 10 children. What if he say that, oh, I was just lying? Then those people will grab his children's.
That's why they gather in little small groups, secretive
Yeah,
groups, if you like, because the words that they say are considered to be seditious, and so they
yeah.
gather, secretly and privately amongst themselves to share the information because the outside world says it's seditious to have those thoughts. Much like goes on. I mean, you're talking about something big, but if you look at the
Mm.
microcosm of it in here in these discussions, a similar thing happens. Similar thing of silencing seditious thoughts or programming people into a certain paradigm based on somebody else's speculation. So maybe this is the on the ground. This isn't astronauts. This isn't those big people. These are just the normal people being programmed into an idea of the shape of the Earth, for instance.
No, the thing is, no one can program them. If you talk to Elon Musk, he will not be a foolish person. He will be an intelligent person. Just imagine, can someone fool him? No, of course not. Then why he shows
What do you
the
mean?
33
Of course, he can be fooled. Of course, he can be fooled. And who's to say that he is who he portrays himself to be? I mean, he could just be the face and not really have
I don't
much
think
intelligence at all. There's lots of people around who pretend to be experts, don't have any real expertise at all, but rely on the people around them to feed them the information that they then go out and present to the world.
but
And that's been the
but
case, I think, with Elon Musk in some interviews where he's portrayed his ignorance of what would be basic facts. So
yeah,
that feeds down to the people. We need the people to believe the story.
like Elon Musk also shows 33 symbol, okay? So what does it mean by 33? Like when his rocket launches, okay, SpaceX rocket, the engines are always 33. He used 33, and he
What do you
and
think it is?
yeah, always they use 33 engines.
Yeah, but what is 33 though? Like, why is that so significant?
Yeah, it's just like the slavery system. So the slavery system they are in. So 33 means they are appointed some work by the boss. So boss has given him the work. So they are using some symbols that, hey boss, I'm doing your work in a proper way. This is my 33 symbol. So that other people who are also slaves who can cross check. Okay, he's doing a good job. Okay, there might be like, just imagine, like
Could
Trump
you have
might be a
been hypnotized or whatever to see that 33 and think something? Could that have been you if that's the way it's being used? Is it a signal to you?
no, it's a signal for their community, because they don't say, want to tell you. They think like, okay, because they are using that from years, like from hundreds of
Yeah,
years.
why?
So that
Why
time,
30?
that time there was no internet, that time there was no conspiracy theorist. Okay, so they was doing their work secretly by showing those simple symbols. But nowadays people figured it out. Oh, why they are using these symbols? Before that, when they are making some logo of the space agency, no one will question why you're making that logo. That logo has certain symbols in your logo, in your space agency. Why you're using that? Are you from a particular group? No one will ask them. There was no conspiracy theorists, no internet. Media will not question anything. So they are using that from a long time. They did not create this thing now. So when they created that, they was having no clue that people will figure it out. Nowadays people have figured it out that Nowadays, people are counting the number of Indian SpaceX is showing. So they are
I think it
working in
could
their
be like a symbolism. Because I mean, I've just seen Geo's just done that toroidal thing. What about if they're secretly exposing the fact that it's like that toroidal field but split? So you've got 2 3s. If you place it together, you get a figure 8. What about if it's something like that? Do you reckon?
I don't know about that idea, but 33 is just a degree in Freemasonry or in Illuminati or in their secret society. Like it's the
Yeah, but
highest means
there's
there are a lot of
there's also
pointing.
sorry. It's also this like the symbology of 8 inches per mile squared or an elevation angle that proves flat Earth. I mean, they're also symbols that are repetitive and repeated and transfer with them a paradigm that people are being urged to take on. And any kind of talk about those that is maybe contrapositive to those, is considered seditious and it's squashed from one side or the other.
Mm.
Both sides are trying to squash the other's reasoning and the logical
Yeah,
process in order to
yeah,
try and understand what the other guy's saying. But when you try to understand what the other guy's saying, then you're silent. So what happens to those people who can't ask a question?
yeah. That's your another thing. But the thing I was saying, you understand, right? I was saying like in the history, if you look into the history, then kings was always having some slaves. Okay, and why those slaves? Because kings trust the slaves the most. Okay, kings don't trust other people other than slaves. So if those kings, those empires, when there is a constitution, okay, so still those people have created the constitution and they allowed the constitution to be come into the place. So from that time, where is the slavery? So they secretly using slavery, and all of their slaves get the biggest positions in politics, in space agencies, and that's why like today's conspiracy theorists say, okay, the whole world is controlled by some particular people. There might be some particular people, 5 or 10 or 20 people, who have that slave system, and their slaves, and they are so rich, they have some torturement centers, and their slaves are born there, and they
How,
get their life, they marry other
how
slaves,
do
and they
how do we know
they
how do
live
we
a
know you're not how do we know you're not one of their subjects and that you'll come to deliver the message from the king as one of his subjects? Or are
yeah,
you the
but I will
slaves?
no, if I was a slave, I will
Or are you
never tell
bringing
that.
more shadows?
No, no,
Where are we at?
because slaves are always be tracked. Just imagine, they will not have millions of slaves, they will just have 1,000 slaves probably, and they know how many slaves they have. So they have 1,000 slaves, so those slaves will marry each other, they will have 3 or 4 kids, their kids will be always slaves. Okay, so they will not, they will have 1,000 to 2,000 slaves, and those slaves, they are tracking them, and those slaves are happy in their life, so much happy, happier than us, because they are getting everything. They are getting money, power, they are getting everything, respect, but they just have to hide, and they know they are good people also, but they know like if I go against, then I have my mother, my sister, my children's, they are also slaves, and they will be
You seem
taken
to
by
know.
the Lord.
You seem to know a lot about it, but what about the double agents? What about those who are being paid by the other kings to pretend that they
Who?
are one of the emissaries of the other king? Maybe you could be one of those.
Okay, you can do speculations, but
No,
other
that's
than
yeah. You're
slavery,
but you're hang it, but you are speculating too. You know,
okay, so how can you
and
explain?
your
How can you
story could well be the script that the slaves need to hear. Possibly
so
speculate about
how
it.
can
Imagine.
how can you imagine people in the politics if you believe that okay, the earth is flat and there is deception, there are lies all over the world, but always those politicians ignore those lies,
Yeah,
like
but I
even if
see the
there is a
same
world
thing
war.
happening here where you're talking now. I see the same thing happening here every day. It's not
Yeah, just
politicians.
imagine.
It's the bending of minds. It's the influence of on people's minds. That's what's going on. The same as anywhere else. It's
So
complete with its
so keep
hierarchies and everything else. It's just have to have
yeah,
enough
so
discernment to know who's telling you bullshit or not.
okay, so how can you explain that the astronauts who lie clearly to us that the earth is a globe and they are in the space, they are going to the space for months, okay, they are in zero gravity, and now they come to and now they are engaging with normal people, they are going buying the groceries in the streets, going for a vacation, and they are having a normal life, they will get dead, they will be hospitalized, and they will never tell you the truth that oh, I was lying. Why they are doing that? Other than they are having a master, they are having a controller, they are the slave of the system, and they are having the children and husband that they love, and they know if they open their mouth, whether they are alive or they are dead, then
Well, my
they are
my personal observation of you is that you talk with two tongues, with from two kings. Sometimes you're talking from the flat king, and sometimes you're talking from the globe king. It's kind of hard to discern which one you are, which slave you are of which king. So that's kind of confusing. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not a slave, of course. I'm not in power. I'm not faking the
What is
space.
your position? What is your position? Are you on the globe side or the flat Earth side?
I'm on the flat earth side.
All right, but you do present lots of globe kind of arguments.
Yeah, because I think
Are you a
all evidence
devil's
leads to
advocate?
justification.
Is that what your king told you to do?
I talk about the globe arguments, and like when I debate people, I support the globe, because when they say okay, this is the science of the flat earth, I don't agree with that, because according to me all evidence will lead you towards the globe. That's the
So how
thing,
do we
but
know
I'm a
who to
flat earth.
trust? Exactly. How do we know who to trust if people speak with two tongues?
It's not two tongue, it's just understanding the deception. According to me, the earth is a deception, the earth sky is the biggest deception.
Do you have a proof that an elevation angle measures the Earth flat?
you, you can't measure the earth by measuring the elevation of a star.
So you look at the sky to measure the surface. Is that what you're saying?
No, of course. Oakley do that. I don't do that.
So you don't agree that an elevation angle equals flat Earth?
No, elevation angle has nothing to do with the earth's surface.
Okay, well that's kind of a flat Earth thing. So if you that's when I hear you talking about those things with flat Earthers, then it comes that you're the glober in that situation because you don't agree, and that seems to be a fundamental in the flat Earth. That measuring an angle to a star equals flat Earth, and an elevation angle is flat Earth because you have to have a horizontal baseline.
I
That
think
seems to
I
be the
think
Yeah, but
fundamental to the flat Earth. So I
I
kind of
think
wonder where
you've got
you get
yeah,
that.
lost.
I think you've got that
yeah,
wrong.
mhm. Yeah, that
Go on, what's
horizontal
wrong?
baseline is orthogonal. That horizontal plane is orthogonal to the vertical, And the vertical is vertical whether the earth is a globe or flat. In the globe, there is a vertical. On the flat earth, there is a vertical. And you can have your horizontal plane on the flat earth and
So you,
the
so you can get an angle from a curve.
you are not
I think
measuring the surface of the earth. You are taking your angle in respect to the horizontal line. And the horizontal line is an imaginary line. And how to know your horizontal line? You need to look at your celestial sphere.
I I think he
So,
was.
so it's equal. So that on the flat Earth you can have an elevation angle, and on the globe you can have an elevation angle. Neither of
Yes.
which have anything to do with the surface.
Yeah.
So we can throw that one out. That's a waste of time to use it then as an exclusive proof of flat Earth or
Yes. Because in today's time, elevation angles means the angle between your horizontal line and the object. That's called the elevation angle. So what's
yeah,
the
yeah.
horizontal what's the horizontal line? By definition or by geography and astrophysics, astronomy, the horizontal line is perpendicular to a vertical. And what's vertical? Vertical is the plumb line, means the downward vector line. So what's downward
I
vector?
thought
On the globe, downward vector is towards the center of the earth. On the flat earth, it's down. So all things just work same.
I thought vertical was perpendicular to horizontal.
Now, vertical is your downward vector. It's your plumb line.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So how would you measure the Earth flat then?
No, we can't measure the surface of the earth.
So it's not flat or it is flat?
It's flat by default.
How did you
How I
each time
know
you need to you'd need to measure that, wouldn't you? You just said that the
that?
horizontal isn't the surface.
Okay, you need to measure the plumb lines. If the plumb lines are parallel, then automatically the earth is flat. And whenever we have our plumb lines, okay, so by default what we will say, by default we will
Well,
say, okay, I have two plumb lines, then by default
you,
I'll say, okay, these are parallels. We can't say they are diverging or converging, because converging and diverging is a positive claim. The plumb lines are parallel is a default position by our empirical measurements, our logic, our experience, our senses. If there are two plumb lines, we will always say they are parallel until or unless we have proof that there is a reciprocal zenith angle or they are diverging, they are converging. So we have to stay on our default position that the plumb lines are parallel. If the plumb lines are
you,
parallel, Earth is flat and
do,
stationary with
do,
the top.
do you have proof of that?
It's not a proof, it's a default position. So if I am a
No,
flat
but
earther, I'm
you're asking that they have proof of reciprocal zenith angles. And I wondered, I guess, because I kind of think this thing's been going for like 10 years or so. And if it lies, the truth lies in uh, vertical being perpendicular or vertical leaning away from vertical. I'd have thought that would have been sorted out by now. You said it is, so I guess you must have measured it and verified that they are parallel. So I don't know why this question carries on. You're not attacking you, but just generally, if these are so simple, why hasn't that
no,
been
they are
done?
not simple. I am not saying they are simple. I am saying it's impossible. You can't measure, you can't prove that plumb lines are diverging or converging. You need to stay on your default position that by your senses, by your empirical parameters and your logic, when you don't have any kind of other positive claim, you are not shaping the earth or something, you have two plumb lines, you will always say, okay, these plumb lines are parallel to each other. just have a just go to a kid in front of a kid who is a 10-year-old kid who have never been to school, and show him two plumb lines and ask him, hey, these plumb lines are straight, are parallel to each other or not. He will say, yeah, these are looking, they are exactly parallel. And ask him, if I move those plumb lines 10 kilometers away from each other, they will and let them into rest, then still they will be parallel to each other or not. That kid will say, yeah, of course, even if you're going 10 miles away, they will be parallel to each other. I will ask him,
Yeah,
can you
but
prove that?
if you tell them a different story where you say that actually
Yeah,
the verticals aren't vertical, he'll believe that too.
yeah, that's a positive thing. If you have a different story, like, oh, these are diverging, but he will say, but when I see them, it's look like
No, he won't. No, he won't.
it's
Of course he won't. It's adults don't do that. That's why you're in this
I don't know.
conversation.
Have you heard Blue Marble's argument? Blue Marble Science made an argument about parallel verticals. It's in the live chat if you want to listen to it.
yeah. Show me.
Yeah, just you can click it. He seems to agree with you.
Oh, it seems like he agreed with me. Blue Marble Science.
Yeah. The argument he made. He made it a
Oh,
bit ago.
okay. Yeah, because some like Blue Marble Science is like he's just so like he always go against whatever we say.
Listen to it. It's not
Mhm.
AI or anything, that's it. Blue Marble Science made an argument.
Blue Marble Science agrees.
Okay, so we know the elevation angle doesn't prove anything really. That's good to know. Unless, of course, Schlitzie has another explanation, of course.
I saw the video. He's saying we must conclude that all verticals are must be parallel to each other. Yeah, so it's the default position, as I'm saying that when we say that it's a default position, it doesn't mean that we have proven. It's my default position. It's your responsibility. If you are having a positive claim that they are diverging, then you have to show that. And if you're showing that reciprocal zenith angle, then it's up to the individual if he agrees that or not. I don't agree with that. I am still on my default position that the all verticals are parallel to each other. Then the earth is flat by default with a topographic, okay, and the earth is stationary. So this is how I am a flat earther. I don't have any other proof, and I need to remain on my default position. And I can understand that the world is a deception, so that's why sky leads you towards the globe. But we have never been to outer space and observed the earth by ourselves, that
I was going
it's a
to
globe.
I can't find my ticket right now, but I've definitely got it. Everybody give me. Thank you. What platform? Oh, Charing Cross.
Splitsy's trying to get away with a free bus ride
Oh, platform 4, yeah.
or train.
Hey, did you say a free mustache ride?
Hell yeah.
Fucking, I remember those from when I was a kid. I used to always get them. I love mustache rides.
From that one uncle.
Yep. Seriously, he used to actually keep me from getting thrown off because the Earth was spinning so fast back then. I almost got thrown off the Earth. I remember this one time the Earth almost stopped spinning like a fraction, right? And it was gonna mess everything up. but then NASA saved the day, like they always do.
Do you know, like NASA is having a project uh, where they
Like
are
a Westworld
building
project.
something. They are building a kind of a new rocket that will go and destroy an asteroid that is coming to hit the Earth in 2036.
Oh,
So,
wow, that's really nice.
so
That's really admirable of them to do that for us. You know, they don't have to save us, but they are. That really shows that NASA really cares about us.
yeah,
Bruce
I
Willis is
think
working stuff.
I think it,
Something is
By Bruce
moving.
Willis. It's called Die Hard. Die
And
Hard.
now,
Die in
something's moving,
space.
and now we've got, the sun moving in opposite directions. That's a bit of a mess of the mind, isn't it?
Yep. You know, I just flew in from the North Pole and I saw the 24-hour moon. Man, was that amazing! I got footage of it. I'll post it sometime.
Yeah, I think Duffy's trying to get that for the South as well, he said.
Oh, really? Huh. I
Yeah.
never heard about that. I
I
just heard
think
about
he's
the
going, yeah. I
I
don't
heard
know
about the
where
24-hour moon in the North Pole.
Can it be
that's what he
opposite
said.
rotation? Do you reckon?
That's where they hold the marathon for the Special Olympics people. They run like in wheelchairs up there.
Which direction did the moon go in when you videoed it?
Well, it depends on what, because I was moving around a lot because I mean I couldn't help it. The Earth is moving below me, so I was spinning around a lot. So it was really hard to get an exact direction since I was moving so
Don't
much.
be
But
silly. Don't be silly. Jeez.
I'm not. I'm just saying, like it.
It wasn't that quick that you couldn't hold on. Jesus Christ. If the moon went above your head, which way did you turn to follow its direction? Clockwise or
um,
anti-clockwise?
um, semi-clockwise, partially clockwise.
Semi.
You know what I mean?
It's the
Yeah,
same as the
semi-clockwise.
stars. It's the same as the stars, Elderbear.
I'm asking him. He's just seen the 24-hour moon, so I'm asking him of his experience, not somebody else's. So
Yeah.
when you saw this 24-hour moon, how was it? Was it rotating clockwise or anti-clockwise?
Well, I actually saw the dark side of the moon, so
Uh,
I couldn't
Hey,
really tell because it
Elderbear,
was
are you
really dark.
buying this?
is it time for drunks to come in this morning? Or
Did
Jesus?
it like cartwheel a full circle?
Oh shit! Full dark side of the moon, dude. I could not see the regular
No,
side of the
I'm
moon.
genuinely curious.
Yeah.
It's in it for
I mean, it does
24
go back.
hours. Does it do the full cartwheel?
Hey, I went up there for you guys. You know, it wasn't for me. I did it for the community. You know what I mean?
I didn't even know you were
Yeah, it
going. I'm
does.
just curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does go back to the question of
It was called the semi-final experiment.
which king this slave is working for, and who sent the slave. That's why it's
Hey,
hard to work
Saturday,
out what
thanks.
the hell's going on.
Hey,
Yep.
don't you hate it on Saturday? Don't you hate it when you go up to the North Pole and you spend some time up there, and then you fly back to where you live, like towards the equator? It takes a
Uh huh.
long time to get used to that 1,000 miles an hour, right? Because you're
Yeah,
only
man.
spending like maybe 5 miles an hour towards the North Pole, and you live your whole
Yeah,
life there. Like, think about that, and then someone moves to like right where the equator is, and now they're spending 1,000 miles an hour.
dude.
Yeah, but you can't feel that. But when
The
you're in the
Well,
coldest.
then
north,
you wouldn't feel it, right? Yeah, because it's not spinning. But I mean, it would be that way if
just
it
look,
was.
just look at the sky. Just look at the sky. There's your reference. So in the north, the sun, 24-hour sun, goes round one's head clockwise, and in the south, or this other place where the sun's been observed, the sun goes round the head anti-clockwise.
You mean counterclockwise?
Yeah, the opposite to clockwise. If you
You
believe
know
in clock.
the coldest winter I ever spent was a summer in Antarctica on the shoulders of giants.
Yeah, it sounds like you're one of
I'm
those
just saying.
giants.
Well, the globe model, technically, the globe model does say if you're living towards the North Pole, you're spending a lot less in miles per hour than you would be if you lived at the equator.
Bigfoot foot.
But how
No.
do those two rotations work on a flat Earth? That's the question.
Well, you're not rotating on a flat Earth. It's just the sky,
Well,
bro.
the sun's going round in a circle in two different places,
No, it's
in
not.
opposite
I'm gonna give you a
directions.
little. I'm gonna give you a little tip, bro. If you want to know, what the sky, to know what's happening in the sky, you got to look at the ground. That's the only way to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, and just
yeah,
pretend that you're
I've heard
moving.
that.
Just pretend you're moving at different miles an hour with a tangential gradient, and it doesn't really matter because it's so
Yes,
gradual. You wouldn't even notice. You wouldn't even notice that now you're spinning 1,000 miles an hour. You're living at the equator. It's just 1,000 miles an hour. Oh,
yeah,
it's
but
once per day. So we'll think about it as once per day. It'll be a lot less that way in our heads, even though it's literally 1,000 miles an hour.
yeah, but that's common to both sides that they look at the sky to tell what the shape of the Earth is.
And that's why I said you could tell what's going on in the sky by looking at the Earth.
Yeah, just look
Yeah,
at the
no
Earth.
doubt, no
Right?
doubt. That's a common principle for both sides
Yeah.
too.
You know why we know you're spinning? Because we feel it. Like we totally feel it when we go from like living at the North Pole to the equator. You can feel 1,000
Have
miles an
you
hour. Totally.
have you been to the equator?
Oh yeah, I got sick from being at the North Pole too long, and then I went to the equator, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is spinning so fast!"
And you wait
You
a
went
lot
to the
less
north.
too, huh?
You went to the North Pole.
Yeah.
Jesus,
Well, I was
more.
living there
Yeah,
for a
you should stay
while,
off
and
the
then
alcohol.
I moved to the equator. I moved to the equator, and it was sickening. It was like 1,000 miles an hour. Literally.
Yeah, yeah. Don't drunken Discord, mate.
Yeah, can we get into some real conversation? The trolling's like kind of funny, but I don't know. It's not funny enough to make it worth it in my mind at the
No.
moment. If we make it funnier, it might be more worth it. But
That's why you're here,
Yeah,
Gio.
maybe the king must have
well,
sent them in.
Some of the Flatter Day was a little funny, but I don't know. Sorry, I'm not being offensive. I'm just saying it's not. I'm just joking. It's just complete like not a real combo at the moment because it's just
Yeah,
jokes.
come on,
Well,
explain these two
the
circles of the
idea that we're
sun on the
spinning
flat Earth.
1,000 miles an hour is a joke, and it's funny to me, no matter what. The idea that we could actually be spinning 1,000 miles an hour and people still trying to justify how it would be so slow, that's hilarious.
It is.
All right. But someone would have to get into that whole thing with you if one of these guys wants to. It seems like Elderbear is really
No, I
desperate
mean,
to
I
ask
can't.
people about the
I only
stars.
had a minute. I only had a minute to jump
Well,
on. I'm going to have to jump off again.
he lied. He said he went. He said he went to the equator, but he was lying, so he couldn't go anywhere with that.
Well, they lied about the spinning ball, bro. You haven't gotten that yet. Are you a baller?
Yeah.
You still think we're
Just
spinning?
look at the. Listen, man. Listen, man.
Oh my
Just
God,
look at the
this guy.
sky. Just
Never
look
mind.
at the sky. Just look at the sky.
Hey, check this out. Last night when I was on Discord, I was talking. I don't know who I was talking to, but he straight up. I realized he was a Glober, and he was like, "You really?" He was like, "Tell me, you really want some good evidence for the globe? Watch Jeran's last video." I was like, "What the fuck?" That's just hilarious.
Okay, that shows how easy it is to flip.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure he just did it. It was all organic, right? There was nothing. Nobody fucking got to him. It was just all organic. He organically flipped. It was just nature,
You
right?
kind of think that if somebody got something, if anybody had something for 10 years, it'd be pretty hard to let go of that so completely. But
I mean,
that's
like
fascinating.
I said, either they were relentless pricks or they threatened his family with a stick. You know what I mean? One or the other. But you know what I mean? That's why I'm like
No,
I
I
can't
don't know what you mean.
I can't say that I wouldn't do what he did if certain things were involved. Like there's shit that we don't know. You know what I mean? Could have threatened his family, all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? And of course, if somebody threatened
No,
my family, huh?
on his show on Friday, he said that he'd had lots of correspondence over the years of people who became flat earthers, and it said it brought them back to God. That they were atheists, and it brought them to the Creator. So I'm wondering what's happening to those people now who were sold a flat earth creator, and now he's just whipped the flat earth bit out from under their feet. And
Well, I
now
mean
what are they left with?
that would indicate that their whole what they believe and know and their faith and stuff is based on what Jeran does, which I certainly hope it isn't. You know?
Yeah, I was gonna say if that's what they're doing, like, what are you talking
Yeah.
about? Just someone
not-
just
Yeah.
blindly following someone? I don't think that's
Yeah.
Well,
usually
it's not
happens.
just Jeran, though, is it? I mean, I hear people in here all the time doing the same thing. So it's not Jeran, unless of course they were atheists and they came to the flat Earth through Jeran and came to God and the Creator. Maybe, guess that could happen. But you know, kings and leaders, kings and slaves.
Okay, but you're assuming that those people are in any way impacted by a 24-hour sun because there are many biblical and other traditions that have a spiritual perspective in which a 24-hour sun is not in the South is not a conflict whatsoever. So you're just making an assumption that because Jeran made some claims or accusations or whatever he wants about maps or whatever he's going through, that somehow anyone else would have that same viewpoint, which is not the case.
No, I was only talking about Jeran, but I have heard other people say the same thing. But you know, so Jeran gave some people, you know, the biblical flat Earth. You know, led them to the biblical flat Earth and the Bible saying that the Earth is flat. And now he's removed the flat bit, and they're still left with the Bible and their
Well, I
belief
mean,
in
it
their
says in the
Creator.
Bible that it's like a
It's now a bit upended, you know.
structure above us. So crystalline structures can be reflective and all kinds of things. So it's not necessarily in conflict with that at all.
Yeah,
That's why a lot of people
nobody
are not.
knows about that geo. That's a waste of conversation, isn't it? It's that nutter area up there. Look up, look up. Don't pay attention to anything else. Look up.
For what now?
Hey,
I just didn't understand the last part you meant. You're saying who's saying look up?
well, that's what you just did. Look up. Generally, people say look up as a way to not look down and see what's actually happening.
When did I say look up? I'm just not clear on.
Have you seen this crystalline dome yourself?
Oh no, I was just saying that in the Bible it refers to that. That's all I was saying. I'm not
So,
claiming it. I'm not
did you
claiming
get
it's
that from
anything. I was
Jeran?
just
Did you
hello.
get
I
that
was
belief
telling you
from
that.
Jeran, or where did you get your
Hello.
belief?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Elderbear. Okay. What I was saying is that that's what it says in the Bible. I'm not claiming it. I was just steel manning that's what it says in the Bible, essentially. That's all I was saying. That it refers to
So
a
is that
crystalline structure. Therefore, I'm just telling you that the Christian folks, many of them feel like it fits into their structure of things in terms of that. But that's not, I'm not claiming it or trying to tell you to look up for anything. You're roboting.
that fits in by yeah, sorry, I'm out walking as usual.
You're kind of back now. But yeah, I
Okay,
didn't hear it.
that's what I'm saying about Jeran is, you know, that what you just spoke about is the flat Earth Bible. You know, that's what you go to. You go to the thing that says there's a crystalline dome or whatever, and that's the flat Earth Bible. So, you know,
Is there a globe Earth Bible?
if you were brought, yes, if you were brought to the Creator through flat Earth, and you were told that, given that scripture, I don't know what one you're talking about because I don't know the number of it and all that, but the crystalline dome, you said this proves flat Earth because God said so. Jesus was a flat earther. And then the same guy, the same pastor tells you all of a sudden, forget what I said about the flat bit, but all the stuff you've got that you took with you from your Creator and the proof that you had and the belief you had in this system, because God told you. It says so in the Bible, flat. And now this guy's saying it's not flat. And you just said that you brought forward that part from the Bible. So I don't know where you got it from, you know, but I don't know whether it's even yours that you believe in. But I wonder for those people, what are they going to do now with this God, this Creator they were brought to, and they have to now discount the bits he told them was flat in the Bible.
That would mean that basically they listen to Jeran more than anything else. Like, so you think these people's whole belief is just on Jeran, and now
No, I hear
Yeah,
people
this
in
is a
here
very
also
bizarre
make those quotes
framing.
from the Bible.
You're saying because other people feel like they came to a creator through a flat earth, and somehow Jeran's opinion about a flat earth is whatever it is. He's a YouTuber, he's a content creator, and
No.
somehow, therefore, the other people somehow have to be linked to what Jeran's going through? What?
No,
What is this
you're
conversation?
saying that. I'm not saying that. That's you trying to change it and keep it into a little box. What
What
I'm
is
saying
this
is Jeran
conversation
said
right
that.
now? All
I
right,
know,
well,
but Jeran said that.
you're
Jeran
not
said that,
really
and that's what
making
I was
any sense
referring
to
to.
me. Is anyone else following
Oh,
this,
I
or does
am.
anyone? I don't.
Yeah.
I can't follow what this
There
guy's
are.
on
He's trying
about.
to ruffle. He's
There
just
are.
trying to ruffle our feathers, dude. That's all he's trying to do.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
he's just
asking
sort
a
of
question.
monologuing, and there's not really a topic. You're talking about your interest in Jeran. If he's a content creator you're
No.
into, I hear you. Is there something that we could? That I mean, is anyone else following, or could there be a topic or something to?
Yeah.
We were
Are
on.
you
We
the
were
king?
kind of
Are
exchanging,
you the
but I don't
king?
know.
Are you playing the king role now?
Oh my god.
He's playing
There are
server
people.
owner right now.
There are people
No, I'm
I
just
hear in
trying
this
to keep a
room.
topic on something.
Yes.
So where are you
There
at,
are
Elderbear?
Hang on.
Could you keep your point concise and pass the mic, something that someone could respond to? Because you seem to just be kind of talking and monologuing and just kind of a river of thoughts all over the place. So could you maybe say something, be concise, pass the mic, and then we could maybe try to move
Okay.
forward.
And
Okay.
not
You
to
don't
not to
keep trying.
glaze. Hold on,
You don't
not
keep
to glaze
trying.
Geo too
You
much.
don't.
Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. Not to glaze
You
Geo
don't
too
keep
much.
trying to derail
But
me. I might.
he's very good about getting people on topic, moving the topics forward. If somebody's meandering, he'll get them back on topic. So that's all.
I
That's
know
all.
what he's good at.
Geo's very, very nice. That's usually all he's ever trying to do is trying to get you back, steer you back towards the right
All right.
direction.
Thank you, subject. So I hear people in here that make those claims that it says in the Bible there are references that say the earth is flat. Now, I don't know whether they got that from Jeran, but they got it from somewhere. And all I'm doing is using the analogy of Jeran, not poking at Jeran particularly. Somebody else brought up Jeran. I'm saying that Jeran said this. And I'm wondering for those people who he brought to the Creator or anybody else that's brought to the Creator through flat earth, and then the flat is removed from the Bible, what they're left with. Is that concise enough, Geo?
So let me ask
It's
you a
a
question.
little more concise, but
Yeah, you play your king
very.
role, man. You do your king thing.
What if
Yeah.
what if what if
Please don't
what
do
if
ad
wait, wait.
hominems, or we're just going to remove you from the conversation. That's not needed at all. You're just
Oh,
doing
well done.
disparaging
Normal.
insults.
Could you repeat it one more
Please don't
time?
do that.
I don't think I
It's
understood
not
what you were
appropriate
saying.
whatsoever. Anyways, Elderbear, you and I were going back and forth. I completely am not on track with what you're saying. If somebody else would like to respond, I mean, I'm not even clear what you said right there. First of all, where somebody who's into the biblical traditions, where they would claim to get a stationary Earth. I'm not sure. It doesn't really say the word flat, but I mean, if this is what you're talking about now, the Bible and all of that, there people will refer to that the Bible itself is where they get that from. They don't just get it from some random person or Jeran. They would claim they're getting it from the Bible. But see, it's just not really a claim I've made. This whole thing is like a loaded question and some kind of a straw man. So that's why I'm having a difficult time responding to it, because it's based on all these like assumptions that you're making about Jeran and about what you think people might have thought because of where they flipped or something. I don't know, dude. Like if somebody came to a stationary planar Earth related to something that the Bible said, and then Jeran flipped. Is that what you're basically saying? Would they also flip, or would they maintain their position based on the Bible because they came to it through Jeran or something? Is that? I'm trying to steel
If you,
man what you're saying.
yeah, well, if you spent a moment to listen instead of trying to derail me, all right, Jeran said that. I'm telling you what Jeran said, that people said, you brought me to the Creator. They were atheists. You brought me to the Creator through the flat earth. So with that would be the understanding that the passages in the Bible that can be referred to the flat earth, then the Bible is now saying the earth is flat. And then when that guy removes the flat and says that's no longer true, what happens to those people who have been led to the Creator with the
So you think
knowledge that
this
the earth is flat?
Jeran
Now they've
has
just got the Bible.
Jeran has never been a
Yeah,
Bible. Jeran has never been a Bible guy.
you're just
Going
derailing.
back,
We're not about
but
whether Jeran's a Bible man or not. He didn't say that, and I didn't say that. I
so
never said that.
Hey, Elderbear, could
Just
you let someone else
derailing.
speak? Hey, Elderbear, could you? I'm gonna have to moderate. Could you maybe let someone else speak? You're talking over people. It's very heated. Go ahead, Lightwater, if you want to respond.
and to be fair, Elderbear, you're the one trying things to put in a little box, and Gio is trying to box it again. So use your words right.
Explain.
You are well, Jeran. Like me, I have accepted the Creator, but not only because of Discord. But I'm not a Bible guy. I'm not a Christian. I will only be a Christian when the Christ oil in me rises. That's my definition of being a Christian. So You are following very strict rules from your position to box us. That's what I observe.
Well, that's no explanation at all, because it's
It
not
was an
what I'm saying.
explanation. It was an explanation, and
Obviously,
you don't.
Hey, I got a
accept-
question for you.
obviously,
I got a question for
obviously,
you.
you are saying, hang on. Obviously, you are saying that that's not you. You didn't come to the Bible through flat Earth, or maybe come to the Bible through Jeran or anybody else. So you're not included. You're not in that box. You know you're not. I'm just
Right,
talking
so
about what was said, and
if
wonder
I were
what
to,
happens to those people then. Now,
okay, so
Yeah.
if I were to steal, if I
also
were to
having
steel
to-
man your position, hold on. If I were to steel man your position related to this Jeran YouTuber character, what you're basically saying is that somebody had either listened to his content or thought about a flat Earth, had then come out of an atheist position into some believer in a creator, somehow linked to being a subscriber of Jeran, but also probably a lot of other information out there, and then Jeran does a flip. And then now you're asking what those people who came to a creator through a flat Earth now think because of Jeran flipping? Is that what your question? So you're saying, did they also flip and give up on the creator? Or are you saying, did they just maintain their their viewpoints? Like, because it's a question, like, how could anyone answer that? Like, it's a nebulous question about a bunch of, like, a general group of people who may have watched Jeran, who may have come to a creator, maybe through a flat Earth, and then somehow, like, we're supposed to frame where those people are at today in their particular, like, why don't we have a conversation right now about someone in here? Somebody has a position, maybe somebody, something that we could talk about today, instead of this, like, it is kind of like you're trying to box some kind of a framework into that to get somebody to try to speculate about where people are at, I guess, in relation to Jeran's YouTubing. I mean, he's a YouTuber.
Yeah,
So he's doing
you
content.
you dropped a load of words in there to try and create some image for people, but I'm just telling you what
I got
Jeran said.
I got
I
a
don't
question
know.
for you.
Hang on. I don't know what those people are going to do. I'm just pondering what happens for people. Leave alone the Bible. If they would followed some idea, a speculation, Whitsitt, he says it too. About the shape of the earth. If you followed that and then that person said no, that's no longer true. That's difficult enough to flip yourself. But if you add
Like
that
anybody
to
would
a
ever
faith
come to that,
belief,
like anybody would
if
ever
you
come
add
to
that
that
to a
conclusion
faith belief as well,
by
I'm not
believing
making
somebody.
claims. I'm not
Yeah,
making
but see,
claims.
people don't become flat earthers because they believe some YouTuber. I think you're
Well,
projecting.
that's what he
You
said.
believe the
I'm
spinning
only
ball. You
I'm
believe
only
the
telling you what
story.
he said.
You believe the story, dude. That's why you're projecting. You're describing yourself. You were
Well, new
told it's a
Oh
spinning
perspective.
no,
It's
ball.
kind
not
of
me.
You realize it's not. Now you're projecting.
Who's
new
this? Who's
perspective. It
this
kind of
talking?
reminds me of a thing of assuming that everybody has this viewpoint because of quote unquote a YouTuber. Therefore, if quote unquote a YouTuber does something, then all those other people. It's kind of like framing it into that. It seems in some kind of way
Well,
to
we can
try
use
to.
Well,
Whitsitt. Let's use
for the
Whitsitt
ball, you
then.
have to believe somebody.
Let me
For
ask
the
you
ball,
guys
you
a
have to
question real
believe
quick.
somebody. That's the thing.
Hey, bro, what if you bought your family Subway sandwiches every day and you swore by them? They're healthy. You guys are getting skinny from them, and then you find out Jared Fogle did what he did. Are you guys gonna just stop eating food now? And you're just gonna be like, oh my God, we're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
die of starvation. You know what I
You're making crap analogies. Sorry.
No,
No,
it's
it's a
actually
good
a good
analogy.
analogy, and
Crap.
that's just an ad hominem disparaging attack, actually, because that was actually quite a good
Well,
analogy.
it's rubbish, isn't it? It is rubbish.
No, it's not. It was actually a good analogy. Because
Yeah,
just
I don't
because
know.
the promoter, just because he was pointing out, just because like in the idea, the promoter of Subway restaurant or Subway stores, whatever they're called, or the franchises, just because somebody's representing them, and just because that person then becomes unhealthy or whatever, does that somehow make the sandwiches invalid? So in the same way,
No, it's up.
if somebody came to a flat Earth through Jeran, and then they still think the Earth is flat, why would it matter if Jeran flipped?
It's up to the person who's got the sandwich, isn't it? That's what I'm asking. Does the person with the sandwich throw it in the bin, or do they keep eating it? That's the
Well,
question.
I think probably like
That's
you,
a
The
hard
probably
sandwich has
just
analogy.
nothing
like
to do with
you,
the sandwich is giving him. Yeah,
probably
the
just
sandwich is
like
So you
giving,
you.
think
There's
giving
a
him health.
hold on, you guys. This is audio chaos. Okay,
Sorry, go
okay.
ahead.
Just real quick, just like you, probably you have your own viewpoints, so they probably have their own too, because we're all unique people. So there's not just one conglomerate of Jeran followers or any YouTuber that did a thing. Just like you're an individual person, they're individual people. They have their own thoughts, emotions, their own knowledge, their own maybe test experiments, observations, spirituality, all those factors go into each individual.
We're talking about the
Yeah,
Bible.
the flat Earth is an experience. It's your direct experience, and it resonates with people when they realize it's not the opposite of their direct experience. You can't take that away from anybody, and then you don't get there from believing somebody about some flat Earth. That's why you always try to frame it as a belief, like, "Oh, I believe Jeran, and Jeran says it's flat, so I must think it's flat. Oh, he thinks it's a ball. Now I have to think that." That's describing somebody that just follows what someone says, which is what you have to do when you believe in the spinning ball. You have to believe what people tell you. And that's what the spinning ball is, not flat Earth.
Oh, me never said anything about a spinning ball. I'm talking about what I observe and what I hear. And I hear people speak the language of loud voices and they repeat it. That's what happens. Whether that be Jeran or Whitsit, your boy Whitsit. How many people are talking about toroids,
It has
electrostatics?
nothing to do with people,
How many
dude.
people are
It's
using
about the
that
concepts that
without
resonate.
from a
You're
speculation?
so stupid.
This is just like interference at this point.
Yeah,
It's just white noise, dude.
I know. Yeah.
Well, is there a real conversation that could be had?
Seditious thought. Seditious thoughts, eh?
Welcome to the
I just
church
know this.
of
I
the
know if I
religion you
believed in the
never knew
globe,
you had.
the last freaking thing I would want to do is sit in a chat room with flat earthers. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like first of all, I wouldn't give a fuck, and second of all, like, why would I waste my time? I know the Earth is a globe. These guys are crazy. This we solved this problem 100 years ago. Why even waste your time with us? You know what I mean? It's like you're the guy who loves to keep jaywalking, even though you keep getting hit. You just can't help yourself. You know. Someday science may find a cure for this. You know what I mean? Keep coming back.
You mean going online and asking other men repeatedly why the stars move the way they do?
Yeah, it's like
What about Dave Weiss saying that a geometric
who
straight
cares
line
about Dave
curve?
Weiss? We don't give a shit about Dave Weiss, dude. I mean,
Well,
he's just a
does a
person.
geometric straight line curve? Can a
He's
geometric
just a
straight line
person,
curve?
dude. He's just a person. He's just a human. Every human's valuable.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
But the question is there, though. It doesn't change the question. It doesn't matter
Yeah, I
who
mean, you could what you'll
said
do
it.
is you'll just keep bringing up different people and going on and on and on. What if you loved football? Like you base your whole life off football, and then you find out Aaron Hernandez killed somebody. Are you just gonna be like, fuck football? You know what I mean? It's kind of like the same thing, though. It's ridiculous. And you could just go down the
Not a
line.
bad
OJ
analogy.
Simpson.
Sorry.
OJ Simpson. You could just keep going down the line of all these bad football players. You know, whatever.
It's just a
Yeah,
question. Maybe
and
I
what's
feel
the
I feel
question
like
that can
you
be
I feel
asked?
like you I feel like you guys care about Whitsitt and Jeran and Dave Weiss more than we do. Like way more. You know?
yeah, and arguing that Whitsitt is the father of the toroidal is utterly fallacious because it's so old. The study into the toroidal. That's a weird stance to take. That all of us are just saying that because we mimic Whitsitt. For God's sake.
So who is the father of the toroidal?
Alan from Space Audits.
How about that? Who's the father of the square?
Helen Keller.
Is there a father?
Helen Keller.
And don't forget that the flat and the Bible are both religions, so that's also
Religions.
tricky.
Yeah. It's like the
Everything's a
globe
religion,
ball is
man.
not a religion.
As the globe,
I
Science,
the
think
globe is also a
science
religion
is a
too. Yeah.
religion.
What?
Science is
the
a
flat earth
religion.
is just an experience. We just experience it. We're experiencing that. So it's not a
Yes.
religion. It's just something
Yeah.
our senses tell us.
It's empirical lived reality, direct. Has nothing to do with spirituality or religion. I mean, it can if you want to attach that to it, or because the spirituality and religion generally can have to do with the nature of life, where we came from, who we are, where we're going, philosophically, all those factors. So, of course, where we live would be connected to who we are and where we're at and what it's all about, and especially the entire creation from that perspective. Of course, you would incorporate because this is part of it also. That all makes sense. So, I mean, it connects to it in those fashions, but outside of that, it's just the physical world, the empirical lived reality. You don't really have to attach any religion or spirituality just to live or observe or measure something that's directly here that we live on.
Yeah, and I would just say science or facts given to you by scientists. No religion.
So can you curve a geometric straight line then?
Well, there's a will, there's a way.
Of course not. Those are opposites.
Well, he said, can you bend it? Like,
Oh, you mean
implying
just take
like
a straight thing and bend it? Well, yeah, but if it's straight, it'll never be curved.
No, he's
If
like
level,
draw
if
a
level,
straight
if
line
level
on a piece
means
of paper
curve,
and bend the paper. Sure.
Yeah, you can take a straight thing.
Yeah, I'm
and bend
going
it.
into an internet black hole, so I'll be out for a bit.
You guys did hear Dave Weiss, didn't you? Talking
we
to
don't care about
Flatoid.
Dave Weiss, dude. We don't give a shit about Dave Weiss, dude.
What's this tag team?
Dude, I haven't heard Dave Weiss's voice in probably 3 months. I think around the when they went to Antarctica, I might have watched 1 or 2 things, but no, man, I'm not up on what he's doing. Why did
You know
watch?
Will Duffy's
oh, let
got
Bev
a...
speak his piece.
I'm sure you follow him though.
Well, Will Duffy's got a new one about the curve.
We don't give a shit about Will Duffy
Proving
either,
the
bro.
curve.
Let Bev
Who
speak his
cares about Will
piece.
Duffy?
Well, hold on. I mean,
Right.
okay.
All right, I'm sorry.
You may
Okay,
not-
go ahead.
No, I hear you, but I mean, he's bringing it up. But
Yeah,
what were you
all
saying,
right.
Bob?
You guys have heard of it, right? They've got this new project. I think it's Creaky Blinder. He's doing the balloon thing, and I know it's been done before. But Will Duffy's involved because he's offering the flat earthers the choice of lens.
Oh my god. Why?
And,
This is what the only experiment I would believe it's a globe is the Eratosthenes experiment. Why don't you guys get some sticks and measure the shadows? You know what I mean?
Well, Dave Weiss went on Flatsoid to obviously to talk about this because Flatsoid was going over it, and he said in that thing that if you were to have a geometric straight line, you would see it curve. That's Dave Weiss telling Flatsoid.
Damn, coming full circle,
what
man.
they're gonna see.
You know, hey, if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle.
I think that's what Elderbear's talking about.
Dude, this is like the political arena where like it's a circle. Like if you find yourself so far left, you're right, or if you find yourself so far flat, you're globe. It's so wild. You can't go too far in one direction.
I know.
Like I'll give you an instance in politics. I saw something recently, and we'll go back to exactly what you're talking about. But I saw a perfect example in politics recently. It was Grindr. We all know what Grindr was. Grindr is excluding gay people from they won't allow gay people to filter people by their biological sex. However, they will let trans
The Grinder King.
do what?
Yeah, go on.
You know
Sounds
Grindr
like
is,
you came from the Grinder King.
yeah.
I mean, what's that got to do with